This across to our guests who continue to be with us on the broadcast. Ambassador Vohra, you heard J.D. Vance over there. Why is it that responses from the United States of America continue to come across as rather disjointed? At the first time, they had mentioned about how there is going to, at least in the background, a regime change. Then we had Pete Hegseth saying that we are not looking at a regime change. Then it is J.D. Vance again back to talking about how Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
You've caught it very beautifully. There is a contradiction. Nevertheless, I prefer to believe, since I've been involved in this in my own country, sometimes we practice what is called strategic deception. We speak with many voices so that the fellow we are trying to clobber doesn't know what the reality is. My own understanding, after I've seen what President Trump has been doing in different countries, including most recently in Venezuela, the feeling there is that America does what it wants to, and there's no one to challenge it. Very interesting, ma'am. I just thought I'd point out that China is quieter than the proverbial dead rat in your neighborhood. Russia has made a little bit of noise, but that's about it. Nobody, but nobody, has come to support Iran. And that itself is going to encourage the United States to hit even harder. President Trump said they've only seen a bit of my power. I have much more than this. So you can expect that the conflict will intensify. But I also believe that some kind of a solution will have to be found. You made a reference, or your commentator made a reference, to the destruction of Iran. No, it's the destruction of the mullah regime. And the regime change basically means that one mullah should not be replaced by another hardline mullah. It means that we should have some kind of a pro-Western is not the right word, sometimes kind of a liberal democratic setup that emerges in Tehran. Will that happen? Of course it will happen. We had a fellow called the Shah who was booted out. He was no Democrat, but at least there was peace in that region, etc., while he was around. And the Iranians were pretty happy. So I feel that the older Iranians and even the youngsters who see huge inflation, their currency is plummeting, the education system has collapsed, energy facilities are now being targeted. They have no jobs. They would be very happy to see this 46-year-old regime that has given them nothing, ma'am, and I say this very deliberately, given them nothing but misery and fed them on the snake oil of Islam. They would be very happy to see it go. That's what I see happening, a movement from within. Why it hasn't happened so far? Because of the repression by the regime. We did see some upsurge a couple of months ago. Maybe that is the time that the United States should have attacked so they could coordinate it with the domestic uprising. But maybe Israel wasn't ready. Israel stopped them and said, wait, we need some more missile defense, anti-missile defenses, etc. Until that happens, please don't hit.
Ambassador Vohra, stay with